I hope you're going to enjoy 6 months of Wizard 101. I literally said that as I started the stream. Hi, YouTube girlies. This is Cameron, thank you. YouTube girlies, somebody just subscribed for 6 months. So thank you. Everybody say thank you. This is Cameron. Welcome to welcome to Hawkeye Star Rail. I have some updates for y'all. Miss Fugue behind the scenes. She's fully traced out. Her relics are still a little bit questionable. Let's be real, her relics are a little bit questionable. I've been messing with some stuff here. Let's enhance this. But she's basically maxed out on everything. I'm waiting until we unlock the thing to get her actual set that she can use. But until then, she's pretty good. She's pretty good. Wait a minute. I need to put on wasn't it like a watch or something that I was wearing? I need the 2-piece for the break. That has, yeah, I need to replace that with like, yeah, I need to switch to that. Unless there's like a break for, there's one that has speed. I'm gonna switch to that and enhance that. But yeah, she's ready to go. I'm gonna unlock her relic soon. Slay! I really love having this fugue. It's so fun. Are we excited for Saturday to meet Sunday? Oh my goodness, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. So I just want to show y'all. My shirt is a heart. But as y'all always know, y'all can't see it. But yeah, it's a heart. Oh well. It's gonna look cute in a video. I have an idea for a video. For actually my upcoming video that I'll be working on next week. The project that I'm working on, it's gonna be probably in density, like the Rouge the Bat video. Not in the sense of like analysis, but more like it's gonna be a pretty big project. The Girly Pop Lock X. So I'm trying to pace it out, and the one thing that I noticed, y'all know me, I try to be quite frugal with like my costuming, quote unquote. But as like a birthday gift to myself, I did get myself some new things, and like it kind of like motivates me to like have new things to play with for like looks. And then once I have like a little looks together, I'm like, okay, well now I have to make a video, and that kind of helps me. Also, VOD girlies, I had makeup on. It was a really cute like shimmer, but it's green screened out. So if I look like weird, it's because of that. But I might play with that idea. We're back to the story. I'm finally gonna meet RuPaul from RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh right, the Herta animations. Well, let's just do this. I'll see if I can make time at the end to watch that. I have it open right here.
Congratulations
Pickled.
to the both of you on becoming the festive superstars of this year's Charmony Festival. Before entering the Grand Theater.
Thank you, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Oh my goodness, RuPaul!
I, on behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere congratulations to you, wishing you joy under their radiance.
Where's RuPaul? You said there. Is that RuPaul? Where's RuPaul? I thought that if I won this, I would get to meet RuPaul Charles.
As previously promised, my sister,
Hello,
Mr.
Dubai.
Yang, and I
Hi, Shiny. Thank you
have
for 9
met
months. Hi,
with the
Shiny.
Dream Master. We delved into the truth about Penacony and its Stellaron, and have come to a consensus. Both I and the Oak family cannot acquiesce to your request.
Just as expected.
We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivities cannot and will not revert to a place characterized by chaos, disorder, or anarchy.
Somebody just told me that they looked into the fine print and it said Rude Paul, not RuPaul. We got duped. Sunday, please tell me RuPaul is here. What are you talking about, the harmony and stuff? We're gonna shut down this festival no matter what you say. The Stellaron's in here, and one thing about me is I take the Stellaron out. So like all this yap, I don't know what it's about. Just show me where RuPaul is before I get angry.
Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated, equality non-existent, common folk living precarious lives, eking out a dreary existence. Ultimately, only heroes like yourselves manage to achieve success. But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but an anonymous and frail member among the masses, which Penacony would you prefer?
In all honesty, Sunday, if you're really asking me, I'm not really much of a capitalist diva. All of this decadence and splendor, there's always a catch. If there's one thing that I've learned, there's always a catch. There's always a sacrifice. There's no such thing as like finite joy. I mean infinite joy. So Sunday, I don't know. I think maybe I would like, I don't know, just speaking as somebody, like, you know, you can go to Walmart and get some kimchi, or you can go down the road to the store that's like not really like, you know, corporate out, and the kimchi's better. Like that's like always the story of it all. I think Sunday, maybe you need to start unpacking your classism. Maybe you need to start unpacking why maybe the old Penacony wasn't up to your standards, because to me, I don't really judge like that.
A dystopia for the survival of the fittest? Or a sweet dream paradise for all?
Why are you asking me? Why? You need to ask yourself that. Sunday, Saturday, RuPaul.
That's not the point. Don't let him mislead you.
March, let me handle the conversations that don't have to do with being loud.
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron,
No, but he did ask a
exactly
pretty
the
interesting
time
question.
to be holding an extensive discourse about Penacony's past and future, is it? The Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to listen. Also, it'd be best to tell us the ins and outs of that meeting. This way, we'll at least know what Welt and Ms. Robin are dealing with, and the reason why they failed to make our appointment.
Ah, Navigator. That is precisely my intention. With all present, let's begin by discussing the details of that meeting. Let's talk about our
Wait, is
tribulations
Himiyoko
and
gonna be
choices.
related to the new
Our
area? Because
ideals
her
and beliefs.
look is a little bit like that Greco-Roman type of look, like the dress and everything.
And our final course of action. The only path to take.
He said navigator, and I was like, that's such a cool title for her because she is the navigator. And then I was
You
like,
mean
wait a
to
minute,
say
she's a pretty significant
that for
character.
the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use the Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition.
There have been scoundrels who would use the Charming Festival to... Okay.
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song,
Thank you, Snow.
will be broadcast across the entire planet of Penacony. And then everyone in their dreams will be unable to awaken.
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families. If someone were to use the Charmony Festival to recklessly disseminate the power of the Stellaron, this individual must hold a position of great authority. Do you have any suspects?
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of the Stellaron's existence?
I would have never thought that this nameless would point the spear at me. Quite astonishing indeed.
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this out of concern for the Dreamscape's safety. So, if you could,
Hi,
please
Hunter.
alleviate our concerns.
Dream Master, It's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious, I will return to the stage to offer tribute in song, just per the arrangement.
Wait a minute.
Sunday, Robin. I've watched you two grow up. And know
But isn't Miss
dispositions
Girl
like
trying to do it
that of a
too?
man. Both of you, right now, can surely be lauded as their most devout advocates. I already know your resolve.
Let me get this straight. So the Dream Master is angry at the fact that somebody is using the Charmony Festival and all of this for their own ambitions. Okay.
The magnitude of this matter is enormous and cannot be
I'm
taken
not
lightly.
Anorelli.
Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will
Not because I don't
personally
want to, but
respond
just
in
it's so hard for me to keep up with Drag Race.
If there is a need, the entire Oak family will be mobilized to heed your call. Someday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me and question me in their
But isn't
stead,
Sunday?
so that no lies may be concealed?
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim my innocence, so that all slander may be utterly dispelled?
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it is in the heavens.
Amen. That sounds like a reference to like Catholicism. Doesn't they say that? Don't they say that? Anyway,
Oh, triple-faced
something similar to
soul.
that.
Please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false
I always
vows.
forget that Sunday is a lyricist and that Sunday has written a lot of the songs. Like Sunday's kind of like Billie Eilish. Like you know how like Billie Eilish's brother helps her make a lot of like the music. Like Billie does a lot of writing too. She's a musician in her own right, but like her brother kind of like sits in the background a little bit sometimes and helps a lot with like some of the songwriting and things like that. I always forget that Sunday's a lyricist. It always throws me off.
Let us begin. There is nothing else to prepare.
Understood.
Hi Hito.
Question. Have you devoted your life to your god, never worshipping other gods?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself, always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in accordance with divine law.
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith. With this, it can be evidenced...
Just a moment.
What is it, Mr. Yang?
I have another question I hope to have answered. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called divine laws. The god you both mentioned, are they truly Shipe?
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity and unity under their light. All duplicity is laid bare before the harmony. Such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this, if not for the Great One?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. Undyne, there's a lot of circumlocution in here. Like, Answer the question.
Perfectly harmonized. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider.
Is that the right
lurking
word?
in the shadows who
Circumlocution or
changed the harmony,
circumlocution?
but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself.
Circumlocution. That was a lot of circumlocution.
In the distant past, there existed an eon. With one flick of the wrist,
Congrats,
they
Junkie.
crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent hymns throughout the universe.
Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading Solomon. Okay.
Later, they fell. The route traversed by this eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell silent, and when it echoed anew, it was transformed into the hymn of harmony.
Well, perfectly harmonized, therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself. In the distant past, there existed an aeon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent hymns throughout the universe. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this aeon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. So the harmony itself has fused with another unspoken of aeon that is about to drop the deeds on
Harmony.
spill.
Though an eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony, echoes of bygone dissonance may subtly arise.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. Especially when you find yourself alone and without allies.
So this is how it is.
So Welt said, what you think you are is not what you actually are.
For the sake of our grand cause someday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this. It's a pity that things have turned out this way.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is actually...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Xipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many.
Okay, keep going. No,
Within the
I think I know what's
foundation of law,
happening.
Humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Oh, now that is really tricky and clever. That is really tricky and clever how they did that. Because like harmony and order, very synonymous. Very synonymous. But when you have Robin and you have Sunday and you've had this conversation between the two, both of them having like these angel motifs, obviously not being really related to anyone around them, but existing within the family, existing in the harmony, following the harmony, but still like kind of like in their character design standing out, they are always like sort of clashing with these philosophies of what harmony is.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Robin?
Marge said, I don't care about all that. What did you do with them?
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to ponder their fates.
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral Express.
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But we haven't reached that point yet, have we? Your efforts for the justice of Penalty are evident to everyone and have been widely observed.
No, she was like, Himiko was like, well, you know that's not how we do things around here. It's just like, Himiko just got like the most craziest like reveal about this dream world that she's existing, and she's like, well, it seems as though we're gonna have to do something about that. Stop being around the bush and get to the point.
Patience
Saturday.
is a virtue. However, I won't hold it against you. On the contrary, I'm here to make my intentions clear.
So back during the swarm disaster, the bugs created by the Aeon of propagation that Firefly was fighting, right? The Order assembled a bunch of other Aeons, and when the crisis was over, the Harmony overtook the path of the Order, and the Order ceased to exist independent of the Harmony. That is so, I love, like, I don't know, I love, like, how in the Honkai Star Rail universe, these Aeons exist as, like, philosophies of, like, I don't even know, they're just, like, philosophies of existence, philosophies, concepts of consciousness, and they just sort of, like, move around, and they do these things, and they interact with each other in ways that are indescribable, but also, like, intuitively they make sense. Because it would make sense that the Aeon of Harmony, with everything that Harmony understands and exists, would have the ability to sort of consume something else and involve it within itself, because it's all about, like, coexistence. Oh my god. I like this. I like this. It just gets your brain, like, going. We are not there yet, but Himiko has the best voice line in all of Penacony.
If it is the Order that drove you
Metaphysics.
to imprison Welton
Lana Del Rey
and
majored
you're
in metaphysics.
using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
Verisimilitude. Oh.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very
Neil
safe
the Aeon of
hands.
Discounts.
And just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape, least of all in the beautiful new world belonging to the Order. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, and the victors push the vanquished to the brink of life. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden.
Okay, he was saying something. I have to, y'all, this is kind of how I am when I read books. I'll, like, read it and be like, oh, that sounds like really tea, and then I have to read it again. Okay, so he said, you're mistaken, Miss Himiko. I keep saying, her name is Himiko, but I've said Himioko so much that it just rolls off the tongue better that way. You're mistaken, Miss Himioko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the Dreamscape. Okay, right. Least of all in the beautiful new world belonging to the Order, Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The world abides by this principle, establishing only we, or rather I, possess the power to put an end to this farce. The fact that Lana Del Rey studied metaphysics, lives rent-free in most of our heads, is such a crazy shared experience. It answers every question you need. Like, a lot of people with Lana Del Rey, they have a lot of questions, and then when you figure out that she studied in metaphysics, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice to the beauty of that ideal. So, come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our steps.
Well,
Paz, once again where this road
that line, it's like I feel like it's just like,
Huh?
irony.
Where'd he go?
Sunday is...
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world. The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is because your consciousness has drawn on similar concepts to fill in the gaps.
Sunday is this way because he listened to Ultraviolence once at age 14 and was never the same. Sorry, I just had to read that out for everybody viewing today. You've imprisoned us?
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before, so she should understand what it entails. Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means that I cannot hide anything from you. Now, everyone, please look at the huge screen. The road we once took begins here.
Is this where I can finally talk to RuPaul on Zoom?
From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share with you. I believe after going through similar predicaments, you'll be able to better understand my thoughts. Let's begin. The first decision. A story about a baby bird.
They love this bird girl. This bird girl.
This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony, saw that we siblings had no one to turn to and took us in. Later on, Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopher Wood's yard, we spotted a fledgling Charmony dove all on its own.
And then that's when they were talking about philosophies of life.
That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath, having fallen into a shrub. Probably abandoned by its parents. We decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back,
Thank you,
that
Jesse.
winter was unusually cold, with fierce winds at night in the yard, not to mention the many poisonous bugs and wild beasts in the vicinity. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, I suggested we take it inside, place it on the shelf by the window, and asked the adults to fashion a cage for it. We decided that when it regained its strength
My
enough
question
to spread
is-
its wings,
I guess
we
it
would
might be
release
answered
it
later.
back
My
into the
question is
wild.
like, well, I guess
The
no.
tragic part, something that we'd never considered, was that this bird's fate had already been determined long before this moment.
The interesting thing is like, Robin really does follow the harmony. She follows harmony way more so than, I guess, Sunday doesn't follow the harmony at all. And that those two philosophies exist in this bird story.
Its destiny was determined by our momentary whim. Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Faced with this situation, what choice would you make? Stick to the original plan and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell. Or build a cage for it and feed it, giving
The
it
bird in a
utmost
red
care
filter,
from within the
girl.
warmth of a home.
It's like getting camp at this point, the way that this bird keeps coming up.
I eagerly await your answer.
Girl, oh my god. And me playing Robin for this part too. Ooh, this is not my grinding team. Oh, sorry, this is a behind the scenes moment. Pretend like y'all didn't see this. I was working on something. Okay, the Y'all Squad is back. Girl. The bird is jujubee. Well, yeah, I mean, I totally get it, right? Like, but that for us, we had already like had this discussion. Like, hours ago. So I still agree with this because I believe that like I understand that Sunday Sunday loves order. I get where Sunday's coming from. I totally do. It comes from like a protective sort of like um sort of viewpoint, but I just believe that let the bird try to fly. Even though we know that it can't, you can't let it live thinking like, what if I could? You know, like just I don't know. Yeah, the proposal's really cool. Like it's really fun to like, because what it is like it's more than just a video game choice. Because we get choices all the time. This is a like hours long discussion, like dissertation, on these concepts, and then they make you like really like sit and think about that. I mean, you don't have to, but if you really want to like immerse yourself into it, you do get to like a little munch and crunch on like some like a really heavy thing, and it's fun to put the player in that position.
Interesting. Since you've made up your mind,
Hi,
allow me to
Matero.
reveal what fate this choice will bring to the fledgling. From what I've observed, there are at least 3 predators in my yard that prey on small birds. The Vosicle scorpion, Asdana wolverine, and the Huntington winged snake. Even if they shy away from humans, these animals are still near apex predators in a fenced location like a yard.
I hope you're good,
In
Mateo.
such a location, only one fate awaits that little Charmony dove. A painful death.
Yes, I mean, the thing is like for me, my brain automatically goes is like, well, we all are gonna die. That the powerful will always have the public's best interest in mind. Yes, Asian Penguin, like that's what it is. It's like, yeah.
As for the choice you made, I am deeply sorry.
Hi, Antonio.
Now, this story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the relevant guidance.
Well, Mother, that's the interesting thing because they do all live there, but the thing is like the hotel is like everyone's always sleeping and they exist in the dream state like world. And from what I understand, like I think the last act it had revealed that they actually benefit, like the order or like the family actually benefits from keeping everyone asleep because they kind of like extract like their dream energy and stuff like that.
It was during that period.
So it's like they don't even
that I
really
had the
need like
opportunity to
many
hear
amenities.
voices
Just
from
put them in a
all
bed, girl,
corners
and
of the dreamscape.
you can put a lot of people in that hotel.
Joy,
They just gotta sleep the whole time.
sorrow, arrogance, regret. The complex tapestry of human nature that formed the world. And I was fortunate to catch a glimpse of it. He was a dream chaser and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life. Except that, to most people, the price he paid, I suppose you could say it was everything.
One day after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopherwood's yard, we spotted a fledgling Charmony dove all on its own. The baby bird was tiny, it didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath.
He told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he could not afford to raise them, and that at least they could eat if they lived as slaves. He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, his plan to smuggle himself was somewhat clumsy, and he was sniffed out by those pig-headed hounds. After hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate that what I thought was a kind gesture would later lead to dire consequences.
Matero, girl,
the outcome
we have
soon.
been experiencing
For
like
now, I'd
if
like
you could
all to make a choice.
each act of this game has been like a book, and like Penacony has been dense. I think like this whole part, because we're like kind of retracing the steps of the reveal. Like Sunday's been built up as a character, but we never knew that he was part of the Order up until this point. So now we're kind of like going back and recontextualizing it all. And what's interesting is like I've always had this feeling that Sunday, like we knew that Sunday was overly protective, and like all of these like Catholic references, him like sitting looking like he's in a confession booth. I think he actually was in a confession booth. It shows that idea that Asian Penguin was saying, where it's like the more powerful beings have the public's best interests in mind, and it like references like back in the days of when church had so much power over the people. It's like it creates this imagery and this aura with Sunday that's more about like a more puritanical, like godly Christian, yet like sinisterly domineering presence.
Will you do as I did?
Because
Try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wishes?
Because the person who came to him was like pretty bad. The things that he did was pretty bad. But Sunday's like, well, with the powers that I have to like, you know, forgive him. But the thing is like he's not really like as powerful as he says he is. This is just like him like sort of, you know, building himself up. But I like stories like this because I like to think about like the things. It makes me wonder like how when people are writing this, especially when you have to do it for like a product and you have to write with other people and decide on the story, I think it's just I would love to like understand the conversations that they're having. Like, why did they want to make Sunday this way? How many people were like, I want to make Sunday this way? How many people were like, I want to make Sunday this way? And like the ideas that they were bouncing off of to construct this character, because it's wild.
Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome of this tragedy.
Matera Sunday self-congratulating, so he's a man. Yes. His sister here doesn't really do all that, and that's why she's more like harmony moments, you know? Remain silent and enforce the law. Convince the Bloodhounds to cease the pursuit. This one's actually really hard for me, especially as an American living in this day and age. Oh, this one's actually really hard for me. People of organized religion think that their worst deeds are forgiven as long as they tell the priest and they go past judgment. Get the girls' opinions. Yeah, I gotta... Where's March? Because March is gonna give it to me straight. March, what do you think about this?
It seems illegal stowaways are really quite common on Penacony. But that guy in the story, I don't think he deserves any sympathy at all. He sold his kids to chase a dream. Even if he intended to go back for them, it's still insanely irresponsible. With that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back home. This person deserves to be punished.
He sacrificed his own flesh and blood. Yeah. No, I totally agree with March. I think I had to hear it. Sometimes, you know, you gotta bounce it off one of your girls. You have to hear it yourself. The scary part is that he truly an understandable villain, and he wholeheartedly believes in his cause. His desire to protect is so overwhelming that he would do anything to protect everyone. But in that, he's controlling everyone's autonomy. Yeah, that's why I was like saying a while ago that he almost feels like an overly patriarchal force, whereas like Robin kind of feels like a sort of matriarch representation, where it's like compassion, love, enabling like flourishing. Like she helps things to flourish, whereas he wants to control it and protect it almost too much.
I'm honored to witness you arriving
Other
at the
one?
same decision. Out of respect, I'll share with you the dire consequences that my choice. First, the outcome.
I saw
He
bloodhounds
attained
while I was
major
yapping.
success. After avoiding capture, now then. Did he realize the wish he set out to achieve? He told me the reason he was in this predicament was because he conspired to usurp the head
Oh
of the
god,
Alfalfa
I just made my
family.
character so
When I asked
bad.
him
I
about his
hate
2
this.
children,
Can I go
instead
back? Can I save
responded
scum?
in the end, my heart aligned with the harmony, and the good deed I dared to undertake held no value. Turning
Well, y'all know what I
instead
wanted
into
to
a
pick.
wrongdoing. It created a lamentable oppressor and countless oppressed individuals.
I truly am a natural one.
As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know. Y'all know the real
Next
me.
comes the third and final in the story this time is my own. This story happened the day I was
Look at it this way,
appointed the
March is
Oak
bad too.
family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master, and as per his wish, we had a private conversation. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter.
Restart, we won't judge. No,
He let me read its
Binkor hacked
contents.
me. Y'all didn't
was a
see it.
letter from my sister.
That's why I've been glitching out this whole time, because Binkor's been hacking. But if I didn't want to make it everybody's problem, I don't really mean to trauma dump or anything. But I'm just like really dealing with a lot of hacking right now.
The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussions, the Dream Master began to speak.
Do you know who wrote this letter?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter from my sister containing mere trivialities?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is at this moment?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
This game is so camp. Because Robin is also a universe pop star. She's a pop star of the universe. Touring in Casablanca 8.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray bullet?
A stray bullet? What?
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word of the harmony. And to save the lives of that planet. She personally made for the front lines.
Oh, Sunday's not gonna like that.
She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately, stray bullets show no such compassion.
Thank you, Hags. Beyonce!
Is she alright?
If the operation was successful, she should probably be recovering in the field hospital. By the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony. It didn't hit any vital arteries. Once you've attended to your outstanding tasks, it'd be advisable to write her back as soon as possible.
You know what? That's actually really clever as well, Rose. An interesting choice to make the siblings, one a literal pop star and the other a priest. Both of these are like, they're messengers of like, one's a musician, one is a theologist, and they both have like answers to like existence and things like that. The part made me understand Sunday's position, even if he didn't agree with him, and that's the mark of a good villain. Robin took a bullet, and from that moment she was the charming of he found as a child, destined to die because she wanted to help others. And if you fuse them together, you get
Savages.
Madonna.
I'll pack my bags right away.
Night, Leo.
My gratitude for bringing this to my attention, Mr. Gopherwood. Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments, don't you?
Oh.
This happened. Miss Robin.
That's like why I wear bangs and hats, because I don't like for my wigs to show, and I look better with bangs.
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the harmony's limitations and predicament. As grandiose as the strong defending the weak sounds, many times, it is nothing more than wishful thinking. Likewise, I've prepared one last question, one last choice. But rest assured,
Okay, sorry.
because this is merely a figment of imagination, a nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. If you ever had the opportunity to make a choice like I did.
I did say that she sounded like auto-tune earlier because she does. She like her voice like glitches and stuff, but now I know why.
Would you still support Robin's journey on the
She had to get the auto-tune surgery. I thought that she got it like in a vain way, but she actually had to get the auto-tune surgery. I see the thing with me is like I would still support Robin. I just obviously you don't want Robin to die, right? You don't want her to be hurt because you love her. We all love Robin. But what Robin wants is to do this. It's like when, you know, what's a good allegory? It's like not all of us have this experience, but some of us do. When you move out for the first time, your mother might not want you to move out, but you have to let them, you have to let someone do it. They have their own autonomy. It's like your friend wants to date that guy. Oh God, I don't want you to. Like, I heard everything about him. I got his vibe, but you're in love. What am I gonna do? Control your life? Now this is pretty extreme, you know. Robin wants to go to the front lines in a gown and heels and sing songs in war. But she wants to do it. Let's look at the... No, let me see it. Oh, she's really trying to... She's doing the Ariana Grande. Where's it at? I can't see it. I can't see no wounds. Look at her E6 art. Oh. Oh, I can kind of see it. Okay, well. My name is Fugue and I'm the Magne of the group, and I believe that Robin needs to go on her journey. No, but people were saying that you could see it if you like zoomed in.
I see. I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the order where the strong govern the weak. I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow and even despair set in when matters don't work out.
She is my cousin.
All of this causes me unending pain, because this is not what happiness is at all. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms, a way of survival that belongs to everyone.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden.
I mean, maybe it's my American individualism, but I like really fundamentally don't I don't agree with like the idea that like somebody's like pursuance of like their self-worth is like folly. Like
When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison. A place dictated only by the rule of survival of the fittest. Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is known as order. That is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for mankind.
I just think, well, the thing with him is like he literally only believes in order, so he doesn't understand the concept of free will. Like he genuinely doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand that even if you force everyone to like live a life of order, they will always suffer because they have free will bubbling within them. Like that's the thing, is like the bird will be caged, but the bird will still want to do things even though it might not be able to. The question will eat at the bird. That's where I come from.
Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract.
I don't know about you, Sunday.
So
but...
allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekends and long weekends that exist on some worlds. During these hard-earned rest days,
March is
people are
sick of
given a
it.
chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime.
He's talking about weekends. Okay, sorry. Let me redigest this part. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal terms like weekends and long weekends. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from stresses of everyday life. Not much in 2025, but okay, I get where you're going. Allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls. Okay. Conceptually, yes. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where they can live out their lives happily during their brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days is still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. This should be the face of the new world. Idyllic, eternal, peaceful days.
Yes. A day of no laws, no restrictions, just pursuing your humanity. Yes. Right, you're getting there. You're getting there, Sunday.
And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one another, unencumbered by the chains of unwelcome obligations.
No, Harley, but I mean, I'm on the internet like 24/7, and I'm also like queer as the day is plain, so I'm quite familiar with the teachings of Mr. M. Okay, sorry. Silver Rail's starting point. What is that? Pouring. Meanwhile, okay, he's creating
no
the
need
picture.
to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit. living a life of dignity. This is what it is to live in bliss.
Sunday, like, I totally agree with this. I totally agree with this, Sunday. My question is where did it switch? Where did it switch?
Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all would surely understand this.
It sounds like a flawless theory. But what is the price to attain all this?
Thank you. What? Because the thing is like, it seems like a corrupted idea of it. It's like, anyway, keep going.
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained
Okay, thank you,
for
Bunny.
everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening until the end of the cosmos.
The cost is minute. Okay.
Awakening.
So this is Penacony. He's basically describing, he's trying to
still a dream.
capture this idea with
Stepping
Penacony.
into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
Ooh, okay.
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only logical that we defeat it.
There's so much I want to say because these
But in
concepts are like
this
really
supposed
fun to talk
bliss,
about.
People won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words, it is an escape.
Yeah, like, that's the thing is like what Sunday's describing, like even the characters were like, that's like a flawless theory. Like, I totally get where you're coming from, but the reality of the situation is quite different. And like, the thing is I agree with the idea of harmony because harmony insinuates or like implies that like you have to accept every part and try to find the harmony in every part existing, as opposed to just trying to control things and tell everything how to be exactly how it should be or how you think it should be, because you're inevitably always going to face conflict with that because people have free will, people have their own thoughts, people have their own desires. Some people desire chaos, some people desire greed. You cannot stop them from doing that. So even if you like, I mean, you can stop them from doing that, but even then, you're denying them their free will, which objectively is still evil. Like,
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape.
what about
On the
fifth harmony?
contrary,
Now that's the
seeds
question
of
I
escape
haven't seen
exist
answered
in
yet.
everyone's hearts. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as for why life slumbers, it is because we are afraid to awaken from our dreams.
They finally answered the question. For people who don't know, they've been asking this question since the beginning of this arc. Why does life slumber? And now I really get it. I mean, we all do that. Like, escapism is real. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I play video games. It helps me relax. It helps me forget about the realities of the world. It's my weekend. Oh! And that's why I'm always living an eternal weekend. Maybe I'm like Sunday, and that's why I get him so much.
But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature. And from there, show compassion and protection.
This is y'all, and I'm Sunday. This is y'all watching the stream, and I'm Sunday. You're Sunday, we're all the dreamers. Wait, is twitch.tv/phaun Penacony?
Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet you express compassion for all. Even when your heart pities them.
I'm Himiko.
But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright.
What if our reality is in a sense a dream and we're slumbering or we're afraid to wake from our dreams? Pickled, I think about that sometimes. Sometimes I wonder if I'm perceiving, like, okay, how do I verbalize this? Sometimes I get a little bit deep into my brain. I get to thinking and I'm like, what if everything I'm perceiving is like not what's going on actually? And I'm just like that? And everyone's like, oh, they're just like that. And I'm like living, I'm just like, I don't know. Because that's really what it is. It's like your brain just processes things differently. Everybody sees things differently. Sometimes I will like see random people on the street and I'll be like, does pink look the same way to them as it looks to me? Or has our brain understood that like these atoms coming together, the definition of that is pink? And to them, pink looks different. But we both know that it's pink because we both have a singular word like as a bridge together to that understanding. What if you're colorblind? Well, then the brain doesn't process that definition. Like you can understand that maybe that's pink, but you can't visualize it. But you have enough people, the sheer numbers of people telling you that is pink, even though you can't process it, you say, okay, that's that. Oh. me when I start thinking too hard.
The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it is not up to another to decide. Perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
Himiko is the girl who's like, okay, so that was great. I'm running on Monster Cherry Vape and my head is spinning with philosophy. Yes!
What is this place?
What do you think about the main character outfit? I think it's a mess. It's aight.
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know, but I feel a sense of deja vu.
Baby, I can't go anywhere without thinking that you're there. Seems like you're everywhere, it's true. Gotta be having deja vu. Cause in my mind, I want you here. Get on the next plane, I don't care. Every time somebody says deja vu, my brain immediately goes to Beyonce's Deja Vu bridge. And that's why I think that sometimes I might just be a little bit unhinged and people just accept that.
It's the
Hi,
realm
Sam.
within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless, but weirdly, when we entered it, it was completely empty. Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories.
You aren't. I don't think anybody's denying
that. The dream bubble
that.
can't take shape if its core is empty. So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure out what this mansion is, I'll do my best.
I'm counting on you then.
Exactly, Anarelli, exactly.
Himiko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a
Okay,
connection
thank you,
with this
Undyne.
dream bubble?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this place, my hunch might be correct. Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, it's not surprising it appeared here.
That's what I say, Dumpster Bunny. Like, I really love the watch parties. I know that it's like not everyone's cup of tea and they can like be long and meandering, but it really is like Hoyoverse Games is like watching a TV show with people. What is the best gacha to start with right now? I've never played Star World, but this game looks so camp. I want to get into it. Hoyoverse games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, I will say, are very, very story intensive, and I am not a gacha game expert. I play these games because I like the character designs and I like the stories, and I play free to play. If you like turn-based combat, if you like Final Fantasy, I would say definitely try Honkai Star Rail. The combat's really satisfying. The story is very satisfying. If you like more exploration, if you like to like going around exploring, a little bit more action-oriented, I would say like Genshin or Wuthering Waves or what was the other one that they made with Hoyoverse? Zenless Zone Zero. There's a lot of really good ones. Just look at what kind of like combat style you like and then pick one because they all have pretty good stories.
The question now is, who
Welcome to the
brought
chat.
you here?
Nonstop Remix.
Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool. So identifying them is crucial to us. We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's
Oh,
give
Infinity
Misha
Nikki's
some
got pretty
time,
dresses.
as I believe he'll
Yeah, if you like
unveil
dress up
the
games, play
secret
Infinity
of
Nikki.
this
Get into
dream
that
bubble.
one.
Alright, but there are doors all over the place. Which one should we choose? Do you have any idea, Misha?
I guess... maybe this way?
I just want to... Right. We met Misha early on, and like Himiko wants to. We're trying to figure out. Yeah, we're unraveling a mystery with Misha. I actually don't know. I don't even know where they're going to go with Misha because Misha's been like background character for a long time. But you can tell that they have a principal role because
I'm
they
not
don't just
entirely
introduce
sure, but
fully fledged characters
let's
in
give it a try.
design without them having some sort of development.
Wait, you
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. But I feel like I've been here before and even lived here for a while. If I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. Clocky and I used to sit by the fire, listening to the crackling of firewood. And the room on the other side was the toy room. I loved spreading out all the toys from the box on the floor and making up stories for each of them.
I will say, as y'all's streamer, because I was listening to CoffeeZilla's investigative journalism on what's happening with Valve and like gambling and stuff. I will always, 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 always say that if you have the personality type that will spend money and you know that you cannot stop, do not touch these games. Watch them vicariously through me. I will not have that on my conscience or my karma. I will never encourage y'all to wail on games unless I don't know y'all as a person, but if you can't trust yourself, do not let me convince you.
Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I grow up in Dreamflux Reef?
Because there are people out there who do not care about that.
What is this place?
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories haven't vanished. They're just lying in the depths of your mind. We can surely get them back.
I was like, no, in that, just a side note, I was watching that CoffeeZilla. Some of y'all probably seen it, but basically they're talking about CSGO and the big gambling problem they have. And there were people who were like, when I was 14, I would watch people on YouTube and I really like CSGO. One thing leads to another and I end up having a gambling addiction into my 20s. And I'm like, these people get paid by these casinos to make sponsored videos. And I'm like, that's so slimy. That's so slimy because you have your analytics, you know who's watching you. And I hate that.
Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms and see if you can recall anything more?
Yeah, then let's check out the rooms I just mentioned.
I'm saying, like, if y'all like it, it's fine. It's not objectively bad to do it. But I'm saying, like, as a broadcaster, as somebody who's making content, who's, like, sort of fueling the fire of celebrating a game, I understand that this game has gacha in it. And that's why I don't really, like, I don't spend money on these games. I don't really celebrate like on launch day spending as much as possible because you never know what impression you have on people. And I don't know, I like the games for the story, so maybe that just makes it easier for me.
That's the name. Now we all know him. So
The sense of scarcity and being a free-to-play player to me personally is
anything
actually
about
quite
it,
fun.
Misha?
It's like, ooh, I might not get it.
I'm sorry. I don't know much about the Watchmaker. But Mikhail...
He is a handsome man, yes, Junkie.
Anything special about that name?
Mikhail is Grandpa's name.
So Misha is like a ghost of the oh, Misha, like being the bellboy, being like the host or like the sort of background like entity of the hotel is like the ghost of the hotel.
Grandpa? Do you mean you're the Watchmaker's grandson?
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail is not rare. Perhaps it's merely a coincidence. Could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
It is very like 1960s horror movie. That's like so camp actually. That makes me like Misha a lot more. 'Cause that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who
Would I ever
fearlessly
consider
ventured into
playing
mysterious seas and
BL?
storms.
Visual
He was
novels?
always on the sea and had lots of friends who accompanied him on his travels.
Maybe, but probably not. That kind of gives me some anxiety to host a whole stream doing visual novels of that nature. But I have seen that there is, like, of course there is on YouTube, a whole side of YouTube dedicated to that. And I have definitely been suggested that. And I have done that thing where if you're on desktop specifically, you can like hover your mouse over it and kind of like watch it without clicking. And I would like watch it without clicking and be like, I'm not putting that on my feed. I'm not letting YouTube know that I'm going to watch that. I'm just gonna peek. I don't know if I He was always on scene and had a lot of friends who accompanied him on his travel.
He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young.
I know,
The
Junkie,
name
I know.
Mikhail was given to him by his parents, Mihaly and Elise, both renowned seafarers. Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea. I want to become a great adventurer, just like him.
They do. They track every single thing you do, damsel. But to me, I'm like, I feel like a little peek is a little bit weaker than like a full click, you know? Because if you like click it, that means they're going to give you the ad, which means that it's a more valuable click through. Ooh, don't get me started talking about YouTube analytics, girl. Click through rate, that's where the money is, honey. That's why you see so many terrible thumbnails, because they want you to click on it.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the Watchmaker. So
The click.
perhaps it's just a coincidence? So where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey, and it's been quite a while since I last saw him.
Interesting.
So, where has Clocky gone?
I want to see Misha's character now. I know that we're trying to wrap up this little section, but... Oh, he's ice. There isn't a water element in this game, though, right? It's the closest you'll get to water. It makes sense.
Did he leave to protect Dreamville?
No H2O element.
I heard some noises from the room. Origami bird? That's a friend of mine.
Oh my goodness, Misha, I've been seeing them all over the hotel. You need to pick them up, girl. Because they've been asking me to pick them up, and I can't even... I don't know left from right. You live here.
You and Origami Bird are friends?
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew. Just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one Origami Bird. They are a big family with lots of brothers and sisters who look the same. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Sailors? Can origami birds be sailors?
Could you tell us more about the compass, Misha?
The compass is a ship bound for the new world. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in Dreamville and never ventured out, right?
Huh? Oh, that does seem to be the case. Weird. I clearly remember Clocky arrived in the New World in the end.
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead.
It's like, it's really interesting because like Misha has always, like, we've only ever seen Misha like in passing. I think the only time we've ever seen like Misha is like always like floating around, and I always thought that like maybe he was just like working or something, but now that I'm thinking about it, like he really is like a ghost. I want to point out the Misha light cone you got last stream. It's someone giving him what looks like a Star Rail pass that you can see on every Trailblazer's outfit. Every girl, because I have been working on Fugue, I keep clicking light cone on Fugue, and I keep seeing this picture, and it makes my heart jump. Why did they do this? They were that, I'll say it again because I want to manifest that for me. That's what my body's gonna look like by the end of the year, maybe end of 2 years, because I'm quite a skinny person, so like it's gonna take me a bit to build out that kind of shape, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there, and honey, I'll be taking a picture just like that when I know my body is right like that, because I don't even blame him for taking that picture. Like, girl, me too. Where's that Misha light cone? There it is. Oh, I can't see it in here. Enhance. Enhance. Oh. Okay. So Misha got a ticket to see RuPaul. That means if I just keep following Misha, then I'm gonna figure out where RuPaul finally is. Let's go.
Look, there it is.
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place, standing by your side.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon,
No one ever asks
overlooking
how in the world is
sparkling
Fugue.
waves, he would think of this fountain in front of his house. He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side.
Wait, what if
And the
Clocky is
difficulties at
RuPaul?
sea didn't seem quite as challenging.
You know, I quite understand such sentiments.
Don't sigh, you'll start getting gray hair.
Hey, don't tease. I was just being a bit sentimental.
Well, that's rare for you, March.
Perhaps every adventurer far from home
Clocky's
carries a
luscious
fountain
massacre.
within their soul. Even though the other side of the sea
Hatoful
remains
boyfriend.
shrouded in the unknown, the fountain in front of his house
I could play Dream
serves
Daddy.
as a compass, leading him back to his cherished ones.
Yeah, while Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass, a toy boat that I made, into the pool.
That one Clocky from yesterday was Cher.
Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would always laugh and say I was still too young.
What is Misha? And like Misha's eyes being like a keyhole?
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the Watchmaker.
Yeah, Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream bubble appear to be his childhood memories.
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary life, with no connection to Penacony at all. Could this be some sort of metaphor? Perhaps the sea refers to the memory zone.
March, everything has been a metaphor.
I'm sorry. I don't know, but my memories keep pouring out uncontrollably, like water flowing from a fountain. Perhaps I'll remember more things if we go further.
Oh, I don't even know about the controversies of Dream Daddy. But
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No, we should turn
Huh? Something feels different about...
up ahead. Is Grandpa's study.
what is?
It was in that room that I saw him the last time.
The screaming and stuff was scaring me, girl.
The atmosphere in this room
Don't
feels
do it!
totally different.
No. Eee.
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky, you're here! Yeah.
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. They contain records of his expeditions to every
Yes,
corner
Matero.
of the world.
A lot of this story kind of uses the decadence of like classic Americana like consumerism to tell part of its story, and Clocky is kind of like a Mickey Mouse dupe.
He described our world as a fountain. At some point, the sea started to gradually swallow up the land where people lived, to ensure that everyone had land to settle on.
Yeah, they have like
He
Coca-Cola
had to
references
continue
too.
exploring the sea and search for the source of the rising seawater.
Okay, sorry, this is a lore reveal. Whenever he came back, he'd place a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. They contained records of his expeditions to every corner of the world. He described our world as a fountain. At some point, okay, so he was like in the memory zone, like going around. At some point, the sea started to gradually swallow up the land where people lived. To ensure that everyone had a land to settle on, he had to continue exploring the sea and search for the source of the rising seawater. Okay, I see.
On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. However, I could sense the gravity in his expression. It was the same look I had seen on my father's face before his final voyage. I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere and told me to stay home and patiently await a certain sound at the door.
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky, an ocean of stars. He spoke of a train that transports children with a desire to venture far away, traversing the sea of stars without ever stopping. He said
Yeah, Misha has a little
he
ponytail
knew
moment.
the crew on the train.
It's like this.
And that he had asked them to take me along. He said the journey I had always dreamed of would start there.
A train? Could it be?
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to this world to resolve.
Oh
a
right, wasn't
disaster
it
caused by a star.
revealed like last act that the Nameless were involved in the construction of Penacony, something like
Then,
that?
He gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, appearing in every one of his adventure tales.
He explained that difficult times were ahead. But
3 people
assured
got off
me
the
that
train
the
here.
watch would guide
Right.
me.
We're standing at their like grave and everything.
He said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually reach my desired destination. And then, it was as if I heard the distant sound of a train whistle echoing throughout the room.
Wait, I'm kind of getting chills because Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to this world to resolve a disaster caused by a star. It's interesting because the image of Misha, this like fragile ghost bellboy of the hotel, hears the distant whistle of the nameless who come and try to save this area, and like he was the first one to sort of greet us when we came in too. It was like we were like intrinsically like linked. Oh man, that's so cool.
Exactly, Misha. And then we followed that whistle, didn't we?
Yeah. I think I can still find the way we took back then.
Oh, that's so cool. I like that. Wait, do I have to do this puzzle? Misha, what's the answer to the puzzle? Oh, I can't do a selfie here. Okay.
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're supposed to find the exit. But
I thought we spoke with
where
Acheron
can we
first.
find the
Well, I
last
mean, what I
piece?
mean is like Misha, I recall Misha being a pretty significant presence early on and like never really like talking to us. We're just one of the intro characters. It's the way that Misha and the character, even though they've never really had like full on interactions, Misha's always like around every act.
Do you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious shard when you stumbled.
Who invited Mickey Mouse to the Gacha game?
Hey, the shape seems to
Remember
match.
the whale kids.
Looks like we're just one
You might
step
get a
from
Mickey.
revealing the truth. Let's get.
Don't give them more ideas.
This is it. This
Shondini,
is my
thank you
room
so
of
much. I'm so
clocks.
happy when the VOD girlies can pop in and say hi. Hi! I hope you're doing good. Welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for supporting the VOD channel. For real, the VOD channel has really grown to be its own cool thing. Like, I just want to stop and say this. I was going to say this at the end of the stream, but I'll say it here. The Wizard 101 stream is really fun. I know that not everybody's into it, but it's like, it's a pretty strong like little secret series that we're running, and it's only because like we've been able to build up a community this far, and I'm having so much fun with it. So all my VOD girlies who are stopping in and saying hi, thank you so much. And whatever VOD that you like to watch has helped contribute to me having a really fun time.
While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage, Walter gave me this workshop, and it became my secret base. Here, I learned how to repair clockwork and gears, out of my fondness of precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass, embarking on adventures with my companions, Clocky and Miss Mirror, in search of the new world. I was born and raised here.
So, this building in the dream bubble is your childhood home?
Yes, but not exactly. To be more precise, this dream bubble itself is my home.
Looks like you've remembered everything now.
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something I don't?
You're watching the stream with Monica Ice. Hi, Monica Ice. I hope that you're having a really good time backstage. Thank you so much for all of your dedication on your debut week of your series. You worked really, really hard, and you really gave the girls a great show, Monica. I hope you're having a good time watching today's stream. I hope it's giving you some inspiration for next week. Why does it feel like everyone knows something I don't? Girl, you know what, March? One thing about us, we're both gonna be in the dark together.
Marge, do you remember when she mentioned a clocky that only she could see?
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef, right? And Mr. Yang even greeted him.
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. Her experience shows that neither Firefly nor Acheron can see this clocky. And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside of the crew had ever talked with Clocky. A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a hidden message left by someone for the nameless.
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together. But Misha hasn't started the way of the Trailblaze yet.
Basically, March, what they're saying is, it's like when your friend DMs you a really good meme, and it's like a deep cut meme, and it's like not really one of those memes that you like you don't really show your coworkers, but you know you can show your friends because they get the joke. That's kind of what it is.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, take a moment to recall. Have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew interact with Misha?
Wait, have we?
Wait. No way!
So Misha's a meme too!
That's the answer, March 7. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I'm a dweller in this dream. Just like a memory zone meme. I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that door and left the bubble with Clocky.
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, but rather the stuff inside ran away? And the whistle you heard was the sound of the Express arriving at Penacony?
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story behind all this. It's best for Misha himself to explain all the details. How about we start with your name? Now, should we call you Misha, or...?
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self.
So are the dream bubbles this place that they exist in?
Please allow me to reintroduce myself.
Is this a more real version of like the memory zone in Penacony as opposed to like the constructions of Penacony and like the outer, like less fancy Penacony?
I was born on Lushaka.
No.
In the Presmere
Okay.
system.
I guess he's gonna explain
Adopted
it.
by seafarers, Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure. A name that carried their hopes.
Layer 2 memory zone. Okay. The Presmere system.
Mikhail Char Legwork. Or simply, Misha. If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name. The Watchmaker.
So, you're the Watchmaker himself?
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, that legendary figure
Okay.
is no more. I'm only a reflection of his life. As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. A friend of Clocky. A young apprentice. Future mechanic on the Express. And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted to the Trailblaze.
So it really is like a phantom, like a ghost of the memory.
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished. In my deepest dreams, hoping to pass it on to the nameless of future generations.
So, wow, so he like left, that's what I was saying with like the DMing the meme analogy. It was like, Spinda, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for subscribing 6 months in advance. Thank you so much, Spinda. Thank you. It's like the nameless had like left an impression of themselves in this space. I guess hopefully to pass the torch on to the next ones.
However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I
This
apologize
beautiful nightmare,
for all
Harley.
the confusion this caused.
He left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. Okay.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't he? I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in her dream from the very beginning.
So Misha wasn't like floating around. I was just like sensing it. Thank you, Rai, for gifting the sub. I was like, why is there like a sleigh around me? Like I feel some sort of like weird aura around me that just feels like an equal sleigh to me. Like it's like somebody who was here before who was kind of like me or something like that.
The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
My Mio senses were tingling.
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through. But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has mentioned the Stellaron and my wealth. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's nothing more than a baseless rumor. I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching Asdana, where my friends and I built the original Penacony and fought for its future ever since.
And you know what is just now registering to me? We just did the whole arc with Adventurine too before that. Like Penacony has so much development in this world. Like we're wrapping up so many different characters on, and like they're opening up so many different avenues to explore with this.
I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. But ultimately, my journey reached its end, and I left behind no possessions worth entrusting.
Oh, I was like,
So,
sorry, I thought that there was more of
ask
that.
what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, I suppose it's the things that are still burning in the engine's furnace.
I definitely want to do a tier list for just the Penacony characters, because I feel like I can talk about this. Like this is such a, the thing is like I know that there's some parts that I'm missing, and I know that with like the nature of the stream and everything, some things are going over my head, and I'm sure that some of y'all have noticed that. But I am piecing it together as I go, and I know where it's like at least the grander stories going. But when this is all said and done, like this is the type of like story that like it makes me excited, because as somebody who loves like YouTube and essays and like think pieces and stuff like that, like this is, I just know that there's so much backlog content that I will be able to have for like analysis of all this. Like, ooh, when I'm grinding on Wizard 101, I'm gonna have so much good background noise.
Now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you, for the path of Trailblaze is never paved by others. All I have for you is a story and 2 gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive child forward, and has been blessed with the presence of so many great people up to this day. And my hat, too.
Hi, Comet.
The one who navigated for me placed it on my head and planted a fanciful thought in my mind. The trailblazing expedition will never end. Now,
It's okay, you can keep it.
it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your
Thank
mind,
you, Undyne.
open that door and enter the long dream of an old man. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
I think we finally figured out where RuPaul is. RuPaul isn't technically here. RuPaul left a phantom of himself and his past drag persona.
All right, everyone. Let's make a decision. Although I don't think anyone will have any
And
objections.
I actually won a cash prize and 2 additional prizes for my for winning the Maxi challenge. I thought that was Nownix. Well, the thing is Nownix is actually RuPaul's past persona. This is a part of RuPaul's era that people don't know about this, but back in the day, RuPaul looked a lot like Nownix. And then Nownix came up, and RuPaul noticed that Nownix does it better, so RuPaul made the RuPaul that we know today. But when RuPaul was living in the dream bubble, it was such a fierce concept that he actually had left it there as like a memory almost. Then, because RuPaul is just like a go-getter, like she's such an entrepreneur, that memory had left the dream bubble and then went on to slay without knowing her origins. This is rude to know.
Of course. We've come this far. Surely there's no other option than moving forward.
In that case, it's unanimous.
Right, I was noticing that like the keyhole kind of like gives you the impression that if you can just unlock that door, you can understand what's going on, you know?
Then let's proceed together to the end
And with
of
him
the
like
stream
not even remembering who
and
he
tell
is.
Mikhail our decision.
Penacony is the House of Hidden Meanings girl. We should end here. Okay. Uh-oh. Don't lock me in a 30-minute cutscene, please.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka. So why can't it be me, Misha?
Please don't go. And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you.
Can I just close it?
Haven't you always...
Now go, board that train and start your journey.
Let's just watch this.
Where are you going, Mikhail?
People are saying it's long. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because I'm scared. I can't go for another hour. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's continue next week. Sorry, y'all. I know that's weird timing. Sorry. It's fine. I can go without the dailies for a bit because my character is Fugue is she's okay. Fugue is built up. We'll just I have enough time that I think I can go like a week without. Plus, next week I want to focus on some Wizard 101 grinding. We'll be okay. Oh right, yeah, let's watch that Herta thing. We have just enough time, yeah. Let's watch that Herta thing. Pull for Herta? I can't yet. I can't yet. What do you think of Invisibles and Marvel Rivals? I actually haven't had a chance to play any Marvel Rivals yet. I got like an hour of Yakuza Like a Dragon in today. But Sunday, Monday, those are like my off days. I used to work on Mondays, but I've been trying to just take those days off too, to just play games and like just do things, work out, like just not worry about work, re-energize, you know. So I'll probably play some Marvel Rivals on Sunday or Monday. Um, I want to get back into it. And people have been asking for like gameplay videos of it on like a YouTube channel or something. I don't really know if I want to put it on a main YouTube. Maybe, I don't know. But I do like the game a lot and people like me playing it. At least when I'm being goofy. Hi, Hammy. You need to get E6 the Herta so you can get E12 Herta. It's good. I hear it's really good and really fun. I mean, season 0 was fun. But yeah, the fun thing is, like, before we get started on this, the fun thing about like what I do now is like for a minute it was a little like last year there was some confusion on like what I love to do is now like what I do as my job, and it's like hard to like figure out the difference. But I really, with like these new scheduling challenges I've given myself, like I literally tell myself that I can only start and end working at a certain time. And after that, I like challenge myself to find things to do or like to not do it with the intention of creating like content out of it. And I've really like established a new way of like feeding my inspiration back into like my creativity. And Sunday, Monday is like really like just like having a good time, re-energizing time. Okay, let's watch this. Bye, Junkie. I'm glad you had fun, Junkie. Thank you so much. It's so cool to hear that, Junkie. I hope you have a good one.
Following the path of erudition, a peerless genius with breathtaking beauty who specializes in using magic to unleash massive attacks. Magic? Isn't she a scientist?
What's so strange about that? Magic is simply science yet to be discovered, and the pinnacle of science is magic.
Didn't I say this yesterday? Y'all, this is why I like Honkai so much, because it doesn't make me feel crazy.
Thus, the great scientist Madame Herta is without a doubt also a magician. Oh, it's Magic Girl Herta! I'm done for.
Now I understand. What an ingenious concept. Madame Herta never ceases to amaze.
That owl was sending me.
The Herta wields magic with effortless elegance, dealing ice damage to one designated enemy. With her skill, the Herta deals ice damage to one enemy, then deals damage again to those hit by this use of the skill and their adjacent targets. This effect can spread one extra time.
Ooh.
You should be overwhelmed with gratitude.
Oh, let's just look at that again. She puts like a little key in. I love that.
Targets. This effect can spread one extra time.
You should be overwhelmed with gratitude. Having a true genius open the gates of knowledge for you is a rare opportunity. And to be graced with even a single glance from the beautiful Madame Herta? That's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Madame Herta, I beg you, use that skill on me.
Few living souls would make such a demand. Oh, you're just a puppet. Forget I said anything. Using her ultimate, the Herta's attacks increase for several turns, and she deals ice damage to all enemies. Once it ends, the Herta takes action again and gains one stack of inspiration. While possessing inspiration, the Herta wants you to hear her out. She plans to upgrade her skill. Consuming one stack, the Herta unleashes her enhanced skill, dealing more damage on top of her skill's damage.
Oh, so she's just damage on damage. She will mark somebody and they will take more damage and also pop out like almost like an AoE bomb from them. So if you're marked, it's over and all the friends around you are over. And then she'll do her ultimate, which is just more damage that then makes her skill do the same thing, but more damage.
Hands out, often an essay length. When an enemy enters battle or becomes the primary target of the Herta's skill or enhanced skill, they are afflicted with interpretation. At the start of each wave, she applies multiple interpretation stacks on one random target, prioritizing elite or rare enemies. Based on the number of interpretation stacks on the primary target, the Herta's enhanced skill does higher damage to both the primary target and other enemies. If there are at least 2 erudition characters in the team, the damage multiplier of the enhanced skill is increased further.
That's actually really cool that it plays into her story, whereas Herta initially was the puppet, and the Herta can run other Hertas and benefit from it. If you want to like do a little bit more of like a sort of like a more canon experience. That's really camp. I like that.
Intelligent people naturally get twice the results with half the effort.
When an enemy leaves the field or is defeated, interpretation is transferred to another target, prioritizing elite or rare enemies.
So people who like invested into Herta, I know that you get a lot of like Eidolons for Herta, but if you like really invested in building her up, I bet it's really fun for these people.
The trace aloofly honest. Ally attacks apply one interpretation stack to every enemy hit.
Oh, and Herta being an AoE character, it directly feeds into the Herta's damn.
Each target hit in an attack restores a fixed amount of energy to the Herta. If the target has full interpretation stacks, when she uses her enhanced skill, she'll do more damage until
Meaning of
the
life
skill
from
ends.
Hitchhiker's Guide is 42. That's funny.
After unlocking the trace message from beyond the veil, if there are at least 2 characters following the path of erudition in the team when entering battle, the entire team's crit damage is increased. Furthermore, the effects of the trace aloofly honest are enhanced, adding a guaranteed minimum target count for targets hit per attack, enabling the Herta to regenerate energy faster. The target with the highest number of interpretation stacks will receive additional interpretation when attacked by an ally. If the target is attacked by a character following the path of erudition,
so it still works with other non-erudition characters. This is like actually really cool. This is really cool. This is so clever and cool. I know that it's like it's the new 5-star that's going to be dealing even more damage. That part I'm like not surprised by, but the way that they go about it is like really funny and cool.
So this is the question. Targeting her enhanced skill on the enemy with the most interpretation stacks optimizes its single target and AoE damage potential. But if the enemy with the highest interpretation stacks is a small fry, wouldn't you be wasting all that ammunition?
In response, the kind and beautiful Madame Herta offers a solution only a genius could think up.
Ah, that's right. The Herta's ultimate rearranges interpretation stacks among all enemies, ensuring higher stacks are directed toward elite or rare targets.
Have I been playing any of the erudition characters? I know I liked Herta early on, but have I played any?
Technique, the Herta's attack is increased at the start of the next battle for a set number of turns. If basic treasures are in the current area, using the technique highlights the locations of a certain amount of them.
Himiko?
Herta's map, at your service for navigation.
Additionally, after using the technique to enter battle in the simulated universe or divergent universe, the Herta deals true damage to all enemies based on a percentage of their max HP at the start of each wave.
The great Madame Herta's got your back. So what's the holdup? Go on, come test.
Okay. Okay, that's all the skills. They're just like showing other things now. That's pretty cool. I like that. I hope I get the Herta. I gotta head out. Okay, Josu. See you, Josu. We're about to end. Everybody, let's say bye to the YouTube, okay? I do like to stay a little bit spoiler-free, but I did want to know some Herta stuff. We did watch like the trailer. We've seen it a few times, the Algia. I don't know if I say it right, Algia, but YouTube, I hope you have a good one. I'm not going to play this playlist because let's play it. I'll see. It's a new playlist. It has Sonic music. I don't know how copyrighted it is. Okay. YouTube, I hope you have a good one. I'm taking the next 2 days off, okay, YouTube? Next week, we probably won't jump directly into Wizard 101 because I do want to do some variety things, but I haven't decided yet. I never know what I'm doing. And that's what makes it so spontaneous. Au revoir, YouTube. Auf Wiedersehen. 안녕히 가세요. What's something Japanese for goodbye? I don't know. Bye!